front and center. Please present the colors. Can I have John Consorti, front and center? John can lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have Kevin Stevens, front and center? Kevin will lead us in the Cub Scout Pledge. Scout salute. I my best to do my duty to God and my country, to help other people, and to obey the law of the pack. Could I have Pastor Travis come up front for a minute? I'd like to have him do an invocation.
What a gift it is to have you here using our church as a place to celebrate this wonderful crossover. Let us pray. Loving and gracious God, we give you thanks for these scouts, for the things that they've learned, for the hard work they have achieved, for the blessings of these lessons which will lead them through life. We give you thanks for their parents and their grandparents and the support that they offer, for these leaders who have stepped forward and made extra time out of busy schedules to invest in the life of these youth. We ask that this night be a night that is surrounded by your grace, that is enveloped in your peace, and that nurtures these children into adulthood. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody tonight to our crossover event. That would be the Cubs themselves, the parents, special guest Troop 56. This is a special night. Really, this is a celebration and a graduation from some of our elder Cub Scouts who are leaving the pack and entering into the world of Boy Scouts. This is quite an honor tonight. So this is an honor for these boys. A few words up front. There are going to be live animals coming out tonight, so we need everybody's cooperation. You can think of it this way. The animals are used to being out in the woods where it's very quiet and only the sounds of the woods can be heard. So when the animals come out and during the ceremony, I need you to make it seem like we're outside in the woods, where you have to put the wolf's ears forward like the scout sign. So welcome everybody, and with that, we'd like to begin our trail story of the journey of the Arrow of Light. And to do that, I would like to introduce our old friend, Akila.
and uneasiness in the pack, for I believe there are members leaving. Though they don't really leave the pack because their hearts still remain. And many of them come back to help. Once they become Boy Scouts, they come back and help as Denshies. Once they become moms and dads, they help and become den leaders. With this spirit, candle, this red candle signifies the arrow of light. The red that hangs, the arrow of light. We light the spirit of scouting candles that always burns. We've gathered here tonight to recognize young scouts that have gone the way of tiger, bear, wolf, Webelos one. Every one a bobcat, needing to learn the Cub Scout handshake, Cub Scout motto, Cub Scout slogan, Cub Scout promise. I represent the spirit of scouting, that spirit of Aquila. There are 12 Webelos that will be crossing over into Boy Scouts tonight. Many have earned the arrow of light. The yellow banner represents Cub Scouts. The green banner represents the Boy Scouts. The emblem that hangs here is that of the arrow of light. The arrow signifying the straight and narrow path of which a boy is to be led and to go and to follow. The rays of the sun, the warmth that faces you. Those rays signify wisdom. But wisdom does not necessarily mean superior knowledge. It means putting it to the right use, the knowledge that you possess. The second ray signifies courage. Courage is not the quality that enables men to meet danger without fear. It is being able to meet danger in spite of one's fear. The third ray, self-control. Self-control isn't limited to the control of one's temper, but to control of oneself in all things. Justice. Justice is the practice of dealing fairly with others without prejudice or regard to race, color, or creed. The fifth ray is the ray that signifies and stands for faith. Faith is the conviction that something unproven by physical evidence is true. The sixth ray is that of hope. Hope means to expect with confidence, always hope for better things to come. The seventh and the most important ray is that of love. There are many kinds of love. Love of family, love of home, love of fellow man, love of God, and love of country. All these loves are necessary for a full life. Would Tyler Sheehan step forward, please? Light the first candle. This represents the rank of tiger. When Aquila was a bobcat age, he was taken on short trips into the forest by his father. Here among the great trees and streams, he became acquainted with the animals. From the wolf, he learned the language of the group, the tracks and the ways of food. Much the same as Aquila and Cub Scouts worked and learned, they received the rank of wolf. Josh Tompkins, please light the second candle representing that of wolf. Later, Aquila learned from the big kindling bear the secret of trees, and from other friends the calls of birds and the language of the air. Just as Aquila learned new things that required a little more skill, so too do our Cub Scouts earn the bear badge. Would Nicholas Topp please step forward and light the third candle representing the bears? From his father, Arrow of Light, Aquila learned the speech and call of the Webelos tribe. After Aquila had learned the ways of the wolf and bear and had passed the tests of the tribe, he was admitted into the lower ranks of the young braves. Thus, he became a Webelos scout. Daniel Mayenza, please step forward. Light that fourth candle representing the rank of Webelos. As Aquila traveled into the woods and into the forest, learning from his father and his mother, not only were there the bears, not only were there wolves, there were also birds. Today, we have seeking wisdom from the great owls, and we are blessed to have their presence here with us this evening. In silence, we welcome the barred owl.
The barred owl is a bird of great wisdom, great ability to sense everything around it in the forest, sits very, very still, watches everything, listens, and pays attention to everything that's going on around them, so they know what to expect. And when it comes time for them to hunt, they become especially perceptive. They're listening, and hunger is driving them. And at just the right moment, they lift off their perch and dive down to the forest floor. And hopefully, if they're a good if they're a good aim, they catch that mouse or that squirrel that they're going after with great grace. The barred owls are found all around us. Maybe you've heard them. They go, ooh, 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 ooh. Anybody ever heard that? Yeah. And the barred owl is one of the owls that may answer you. So I would ask that if you hear a barred owl, ooh, 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 make that same sound. Let's try it over here quietly. Let's try it over here quietly. All right, very good.
I've been to this campfire many times. I've been to the forest many times here. At this time, I would like to ask those scouts that will be crossing over to join me, as have many, many others joined me in the past. Repeating, as they light one candle, as they're called by name, Scout Law. Sam Wilson, light the first candle. Scout tells the truth. He is honest and he keeps his promises. People can depend on him. James Ward. A scout is true to his family, friends, scout leaders, school, and nation. Tommy Wright.
Scout is friendly.
A scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to other scouts. He offers his friendship to people of all races and nations and respects them even if their beliefs and customs are different from his own. Joey Consorti.
Scout is helpful.
A scout cares about other people. He willingly volunteers to help others without expecting payment or reward. Aiden Briere. A scout is polite to everyone, regardless of age or position. He knows that using good manners makes it easier for people to get along. Johnny Bumpus.
A scout is kind.
A scout knows there is strength in being gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated. without good reason. He does not harm or kill any living thing. Michael O'Donnell. Scout follows the rules of his family, schools, and troop. He obeys the laws of his community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobeying them. Harry Germano. Scout looks for the bright side of life. He cheerfully does tasks that come his way. He tries to make others happy. Billy Hardy. A scout works to pay his own way and to help others. He saves for the future. He protects and conserves natural resources. He carefully uses time and property. Dennis Rooney.
Scout is brave.
A scout can face danger, although he is afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks is right, even if others laugh at him or threaten him. Mrs. Wilson, would you light the next candle?
The scout is clean.
A scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He chooses the company of those who live by high standards. He helps keep his home and community clean. Mr. Ward, you light the last candle.
Scout is reverent.
A scout is reverent toward God. He is faithful in his religious duties. He respects the beliefs of others. If we live by these 12 laws, we will be prosperous and we will have a very fruitful and successful life in Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, in adulthood. Part of the Hour of the Light, I also had to learn the meaning of the Boy Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And they had to understand the meaning. We understand the meaning every time we say it. But I will repeat what it does truly mean. On my honor, by giving your word, you are promising to be guided by the ideals of the Scout oath. Not only do we say it and repeat it, we must listen and learn from it. I will do my best. Try hard to live up to the points of the Scout Oath. Measure your achievements against your own high standards and don't be influenced by peer pressure or what other people do. To do my duty to God. Your family and religious leaders teach you about God and the ways you can serve. You do your duty to God by following the wisdom of those teachers and teachings every day by representing and defending the rights of others to practice their own beliefs as well. And my country. Help keep the United States a strong and a fair nation by learning about our system of government and your responsibilities as a citizen and a future voter. And to obey the Scout Law. The 12 points of the Scout Law are guidelines that can lead you toward wise choices. Wise choices. Such choices are made and such wisdom is forced and forged, and the knowledge of wisdom has come from owls as the spectacle owls.
The spectacled owl is an owl of the rainforest in Central and South America. But like all owls, sits quietly, looks all around him, even straight over his back like that, and is called a spectacled owl because he sort of looks like he has improved vision with glasses. So as scouts, as you get older, you become more perceptive and better at knowing the world around you. Now, owls are hunters. And if you're a hunter, whether you're hunting with your eyes, your ears, maybe binoculars, or that set of talons like the owls do, you better hope that you blend in with your surroundings. And predators, hunters, blend in with their surroundings, don't they, boys? In something we call camouflage. The spectacled owl is a wonderful example of camouflage, as he would be sitting in the rainforest. He looks like the dark shadows and the dappled sunlight that comes through the branches. And that way he can see and not be seen. So when you're watching wildlife, when you're outside, be quiet, blend in. And as for owls, if you happen to hear that if you ever have a chance to visit the Central and South American rainforests, you'll be listening to a spectacled owl. Let's try that over here. Over here.
Do we have time for a couple of questions for the boys?
Oh, sure. Questions.
A couple of questions?
Any questions?
How fast can the spectacled owl fly?
How fast can the spectacled owl fly? Well, the spectacled owl can fly down from its perch when it's about to land on its prey at maybe 20, 25 miles an hour in a quick burst. but they don't fly long distances. The spectacled owl does not. So it's not so much that they are a fast flyer, but they look and listen to whatever's going on around them. Would you like to choose the next one? How wide is its wingspan? The spectacled owl has about a 3-foot wingspan, if I can get him to put his wings out there. 2.5 to 3 feet. So he's not a large owl, but he's very powerful. Look at the size of his feet and his toes and the talons. Yeah, so in small size, you can possess great power and control over your immediate environment.
Okay, one more about Tommy.
I'm sorry? How old is he? He's 6. Owls can get to be quite old, though, as you will see.
Would be a tiger.
Jay, there was one question behind you. There was one question behind you, I don't know.
Okay. What does he usually eat?
Like if he was out in the rainforest.
In the rainforest, they eat lizards, they eat frogs, they eat snakes, they eat crabs, bats, maybe really, really small monkeys, baby monkeys, yeah, beetles. They're hunters. And so whatever is easiest to catch is what they will go for to survive.
Keep myself physically strong. Take care of your body so that it will serve you well for an entire lifetime. That means eating nutritious foods, getting enough sleep, and exercising regularly to build strength and endurance. It also means avoiding harmful drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and anything else that can harm your health. Mentally awake. Develop your mind both in the classroom and outside of school. Be curious about everything around you and work hard to make the most of your abilities. With an inquiring attitude and a willingness to ask questions, you can learn much about the exciting world around you and your role in it. And morally straight. To be a person of strong character. Your relationships with others should be honest and open. You should respect and defend the rights of all people. Be clean in your speech and actions, and remain faithful in your religious beliefs. The values you practice as a scout will help you shape a life of virtue and self-reliance. 3 candles I have at the end of the Scout Law are those that are representing the 3 parts of the Scout Law, Scout Oath. At this time, I'd like Will McKinnon to come up and light one of those. The first part of the Scout Oath, duty to God and country. Your family and religious leaders teach you to know and serve God. By following these teachings, you do your duty to God. Men and women of the past worked to make America great, and many gave their lives for their country by being a good family member and a good citizen, by working for your country's good and obeying its laws. You do your duty to your country. Obeying the Scout Law means living by its 12 points. Kyle Marabito, would you kindly come up and light the second candle? This represents the second part of the Scout Oath, duty to other people. Many people need help. A cheery smile and a helping hand make life easier for others. By doing a good turn daily and helping when you're needed, you prove yourself a scout and do your part to make this a better world. Jared Lloyd, you come forward, please, and light the third candle, which represents the third part of the Scout Oath, duty to self. Keeping yourself physically strong means taking care of your body. Eat the right foods and build your strength. Staying mentally awake means learn all you can. Be curious and ask questions. Being morally straight means to live your life with honesty. To be clean in your speech and actions. And to be a person of strong character. There are many, many animals and birds that Akila has come to know. One of beauty that we see, or perhaps we don't see, because it blends in the snow, is the snowy owl.
The snowy owl is an owl of great power, but also great confidence. As they sit quietly on the ground in the Arctic tundra, they, like all owls, are listening and watching, and they have the power to catch a duck while they're flying, or an Arctic hare, or an Arctic fox, or other birds. They are extremely confident of their abilities, and if another bird of prey comes around them, they will stand their ground and they'll go and tell that other bird to go find another place to hunt. So they protect their home. They also hoot in the Arctic, and they go woo, woo. So that carries over the rolling tundra. Let's quietly try that over here. Woo, woo. Okay, over here. All right. Notice how the snowy owl is dressed for his environment. Whether they're here in the wintertime, after they've flown south from the Arctic, or in the Arctic tundra in the summer, they are protected from the cold. They have the thickest feathers of any of the owls, and they're also the fastest, one of the fastest flying of the owls. Extremely fast and powerful flight.
We got time for a couple of questions. In the back there.
How much can that eat in a day?
How much can this eat in a day? In the wild, he might eat the equivalent of, say, a gray squirrel, or 2 red squirrels, or several weasels, or if he's lucky enough to catch something larger, say out over the water like a duck, he'll just eat perhaps the breast meat. So they eat as much as they need to eat at that any given time.
Say a snowy owl got relocated and, it wasn't used to its environment, it was, the middle of summer. What would it eat or what would it do?
If a snowy owl were relocated from its environment to a hot environment, it would be very unhappy. It would protest. It would not be a very comfortable owl. It would be very, very hot. It would be very stressful. So all of these birds are especially adapted to live in their own particular habitats and are outfitted that way. So when you're outdoors, dress for where you are and prepare yourself for any kind of weather.
Time for one more. Duncan?
How long is its wingspan?
How long is his wingspan? His wingspan spread is about 4.5 feet, but it can get up to about 5 feet. This bird is a small one. He is a male. In the world of birds of prey, the females are bigger. But it's not so much how big the wings spread, it's how strong and how keyed into their environment they are.
Signs up.
From a tiger
Signs up.
to a wolf, a bear, webelos, they are well on their way to joining the ranks of scouting. As webelos too, they have made that advancement. The banner that hangs behind me, the color green, is for the knowledge of the Scout Oath and law that these guys have learned. Have the scouts in the back, every time they say the oath and the law, they recommit themselves to that law and oath. The red in the banner behind me, that signifies the arrow of life. The highest rank in Cub Scout, of which many of these kids have earned. The only badge from Cub Scouts that can be worn on the Boy Scout uniform. Many of the scouts that stand in the back to witness this crossover ceremony have that badge. The yellow indicates that you have been an active Cub Scout. You've been active in your webelos den, and you have performed many good turns, helping your den, pack, family, community. Scout is helpful. We have helped feed those folks less needy than we. We have helped the local heroes. We have helped the food pantry in this town. So they have truly lived up to that part of the Scout law. Scouting isn't just here in this hall. Scouting isn't just in the town of Wilmington, nor just the state of Massachusetts or this country. Scouting is worldwide. Millions and millions and millions of Cub Scouts, just like you, Boy Scouts, just like them, Go to meetings. Enjoy the fellowship of other scouts. And they do what is right. Being such a worldwide organization, it is truly wise to be part of it. The Eagle is the highest rank that can be earned in Boy Scouts, no matter where you are. Thus, the next owl is the eagle.
Kids, signs up.
The eagle owl has the strength of an eagle and yet the prowess of an owl. Has extremely wonderful eyesight and hearing and is the largest kind of owl in the world. They live in places where eagles live and will even take on an eagle if they have to. They fight for their territory, they know their own strength, and they only use their strength when they need it. Like scouting, owls are found all over the world. The Eurasian eagle owl is here representing Europe and Asia. There are other kinds of eagle owls found in Africa and India, Indonesia, the Orient. So they are found throughout Europe and Asia. This one that you see here is from the northern part, Siberia, Scandinavia, Northern Europe, very cold places. Look at how big the owl's feet are. They're massive. They have the strength to squeeze 500 pounds pressure per square inch, like an eagle. So, as you become older, you get to know your own strength, and yet reserve it and use it only for good.
Questions? Let's start with Dennis.
How come he keeps on waving his tail feathers? Well, if you were sitting on my arm, you'd be going like this because you'd be trying to balance, right. And so the tail, since my arm is moving, the tail is helping the owl balance. What's the tail used for when any bird is flying? Right here. Steering, exactly. So the tail helps them to go where they want to go.
Samantha?
Yeah. See that tail? I'm as surprised as you are. Right here.
How many days can the eagle owl go without food?
How many days can the eagle owl go without food? Well, the larger owls, if they have to, if they can't find food, they can go days and days on end. The snowy owl, for instance, in our care, has gone 10 days in the summertime without eating. And they have food stashed around They're big outdoor aviaries, and remember exactly where they've put it, but they can survive. And if there's not food close by, they go and they seek it out.
James?
If eagle owl found a dead eagle, would it eat it?
If an eagle owl found a dead eagle, would it eat it? Only if it was very, very desperate. Any predator will eat something that's already dead, as long as it's meat, if they cannot find live food. Like a red-tailed hawk goes down to the highway and starts picking at an opossum or a raccoon. So I would not say that they wouldn't eat an eagle if it was dead. It's possible.
Okay, one more. Jared?
What's my favorite part about the eagle owl? The eagle owl sees the world on its own terms. Watches, sits very quietly, pays attention to the world around it, and lives within it, lives in harmony with its environment. So it's a combination of the comfort and adaptation in its environment and its ability to be very, very strong when needed.
I would like to invite Mr. Willett, who is the Boy Scoutmaster, down front. I would also like to invite Will McKinnon, who is the Boy Scout Senior Patrol Leader.
Yes, Scott.
And also Scotty Robinson, who is the Assistant Senior Patrol Leader. Scotty's also a den chief at the back, too. This time, we're going to call the kids down off the stage, hand them a certificate. They'll be welcomed by the Boy Scouts into the troop. Do we have to take them? You've got a week or two to decide. But we won't take them back. Only as den chiefs. As they cross over into Boy Scouts, some of them, well, they'll all receive a little green slash. Those that have received the arrow of light will receive a red mark. Aiden Greer. Johnny Bumpet. Joey Consorti. Germano. Billy Hardy. Dennis Rooney. Michael O'Donnell. James Ward. Sam Wilson. Tommy Wright. These Cub Scouts are really going to be on a journey that is wonderful. It's awesome. Ask these guys if they've been in it. Will was a member of our pack. Scotty was a member of our pack. Mr. Willett was a den leader in our pack. It comes full circle. With the backing of all those scouts that stand here as witness to this ceremony and this crossover, they truly will be in good hands and enjoy an experience that is immeasurable, I would have to say. Will is an Eagle Scout. Scotty's going to be an Eagle Scout. Most of those guys back there are working on their Eagle Scout advancement. The most important thing about scouting, whether it starts as a Tiger Scout, goes to an Eagle Scout, is all the fun that you have in between. It's huge, and it's a good time. And I think that scouting doesn't really go anywhere without the leadership. The time, the love, dedication that all these leaders have and put into a program such as PAC 361 or Troop 56, it's unbelievable. It really, truly is. I want to congratulate the Cub Scouts who are now Boy Scouts.
I would like to have everybody give a special thank you to Mr. Avanitis for coming back to be a Keeler for us. Okay, so before it gets too late, we've got just a few more things to do here.
One important thing. An important thing. In the spirit of Aquila, we always travel. I always enter with a walking stick. Walking sticks are very important. Long ago, they were used to fight off attacking animals. More today, they're used for assisting in walking and hiking, crossing rivers, checking the depth of the water. So in that respect, these are the adornments that I have on my walking stick. These guys here can adorn their own walking sticks. Sam? Here we go, guys. Are there any tall Weeblos here? Yes, there is.
Boys, line up. Boys, line up.
Sign is up. Now it's important, Mr. Monteforti always used to say this, that as you move into Boy Scouts and you bring your walking stick with you, put your name on the walking stick, because I could say, wow, this is a really nice walking stick, maybe I should put my name on this, and this could be mine. So put your names on it, so now you know. Okay. I think you boys can have a seat. Let's have another round of applause for these boys. Along with the graduation of the Weeblos 2, we're also graduating a couple of leaders. Can I have Jamie Ward and Nikki Wilson come up front? The scouting program doesn't go anywhere without the help of the adults, and I really, give a heartfelt thank you to Nikki and Jamie for doing this. It's been many years. It's been 5 years because you have no more kids, right? 2.
Beginning, how old has it been? It's been 11 years.
Been 11 years. All right, and that's we really thank you. Jamie, you have been an absolutely wonderful addition to this pack, and we really appreciate your service over the years. I'd like to present you with a certificate thanking you. And Nikki gets the honor of a bouquet of flowers also. Sorry, Jamie. Get you a basketball or something, but sorry. Thank you very much.
All right, hold still. Smile. Gotcha.
Now, if someone could have Lisa Ward put that big huge camera down, I'd like to have you come up for a second. Now, Lisa has been our pack treasurer for many years now. Yeah, a year and a half. It feels like 4 or 5. And she's absolutely kept us honest when it comes to the books. And she has done above and beyond when it comes to keeping us organized and helping us with the finances of the pack. I really can't say thank you enough. Let's have a big hand for Lisa. Yes. We would not be letting Lisa Ward go if we didn't have a replacement, and I don't know if Georgia is here tonight. Is Georgia Bradford here? She's not. So So anyhow, Georgia Bradford has agreed to help us out in the Treasury Department. So now we're in good hands moving forward. We thank you, Lisa, for all your efforts. Okay. Just a couple more things on the announcement side. Upcoming, we've got for the boys who are still in PAC 361, what do we have coming up? What's the big event coming up? The Pinewood Derby. Who's ready for the Pinewood Derby? That's what I thought. So the Pinewood Derby is a month from now, and we start by next Saturday is the pit stop. So the pit stop is here from 9 to noon on Saturday morning. That's where you can get your car, we can cut your car, you can get started on making your car for the Pinewood Derby. So that's this weekend. Now also upcoming is we have 2 Scout Sunday events. There's one here at the Methodist Church. That's actually a week from this Sunday. It's the 12th, Mrs. Breer? Yeah, that's correct. It's the 12th here at the Methodist Church. Signs up, guys. It is at the 9 a.m. Mass. And for those Scouts who go to St. Thomas, there's also a Scout Sunday this coming Sunday, which would be the 5th, at St. Thomas, also at 9 o'clock. So I will be sending out an email just with some information. You need to wear your Scout uniform, your full Class A uniform. Okay? And I think that's it. In the back, if I could have a couple of adults or my scouting friends serve some cake or cut up some cake, that would be appreciated. We have refreshments. Hold on, nobody's going anywhere. Signs up? Signs up. For those who have allergies, there's actually a couple of treats from a bakery called Woo Woo's, who specializes in allergy-free food. So you can, there is some of that back there. I'd like to basically close the meeting by having, I'm going to call off a group of Scouts. Oh, we're going to have a couple of words here. Hold on.
I'm so sorry. I wanted to recognize also Joey DeSario, who could not be here today. He had to go to Disney World, and then he had to miss the ceremony. So Joey DeSario, this is for you. Woo!
Okay. Can I have the Tigers? The Tigers can go back. Okay. Orderly. Walking. The wolf. And the bears. And the reclosed one. Okay. And that's it for another year. Thank you, everybody.